Okay, here we are down at the shop, episode 97, going through my 100 favourite films of all time. Just only 4 left, even though it's episode 97. Still rolling the dice, getting another guest down to the shop. Long-time contributor, first-time listener. Carla's come back down for the last appearance in season 1.
It wouldn't be.
I was wondering if you were going to do it. I was like, should I say something?
Still bringing your own doorbell.
Oh, ever reliable.
I think last time I was here, I did bring a different bell noise, but I've gone back to my favourite, my all-time favourite. Nice to be back.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Doing?
Yeah, I feel like an end of an era is coming here. So I'm a little bit emotional.
Yeah.
This
It feels like 10 years, but yeah.
This is it. This is it. Have you bought a DVD down? You've been a bit hit and miss on your returns policy. I can see on your account.
I meant to rent Interstellar again because I enjoyed it so much, but I actually brought back Intermission instead. The classic Irish film with Colin Farrell. Highly recommend it.
Nice.
Slightly less space, but we had already solved science, so we didn't need to.
Be a bit more lighthearted.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, nice. Well, and it goes next to Interstellar on the shelf alphabetically. So that's.
I was just trying to make your lives easier today. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, here we are. Yeah, we've got 4 films left. So before we roll the dice, just to let you know, Carla, we have one of the films we have left is a groundbreaking Japanese anime film. We have a look back at the 70s in all of its Technicolor glory. Ooh. We have what I think is the most perfectly crafted small movie of all time. And we have a 7-hour Taiwanese.
I know which one I'm rooting for.
The beauty about it is I know the name of all the movies and I don't really understand how they connect. So there you go. Oh, dear. Wow.
So here we go. We'll roll the dice. We have a dice.
We might be here some time.
Hold on, hold it up. We need to inspect it first to make sure this is real, not a wasted die.
Yeah. The house always wins.
Here we go. It's not one of the ones I take to the casino. Okay, we'll roll the dice and we'll see. So there's only 4. So again, we'll just do 1 to 4.
Okay.
If it rolls a 5 or a 6, and we'll just ignore it.
It could be a long pod.
It's
another 5.
A fan favourite. We just spend 10 minutes rolling a dice.
Another 5.
I actually don't know why I'm so nervous. Like, I almost feel like I'm seasick.
Yeah. Well, 147-hour Taiwanese film does that to you.
This is the dice man. You know, it's your life can pivot on this moment.
Yeah, in 10 years' time, I'll look back at this moment and go, "Wow,
how my life changed."
It had only been a different number.
If I hadn't have had to spend 4 days non-stop watching that Taiwanese film.
I love how it's just getting longer.
Cool. Okay, here we go. Roll the dice. It's a 3.
What does that mean?
You don't know what that means.
Wait, is that not the Taiwanese?
Yeah, I was in it for a 6.
So number 3 on the list is actually Hidden Figures.
Ooh,
do you know the film Hidden Figures?
I've heard of it and haven't seen it.
Nice. Perfect.
Ooh, perfect.
Yeah.
Then. Amazing. Okay, so let me...
Just to point out, I just want to say now, just so everyone knows, Poppy's still to come on the pod for the last 3, and there's still a 4-year Taiwanese film to watch. So, well done for Poppy.
She is her father's daughter. She will love. She'll love it. She'll be all over that. We'll Who knows? I mean, again, her life might be decided by the roll of the dice.
And that was the moment she
Well,
never spoke to her dad again.
I put out
Well, it's funny. I mean,
until this time.
Yeah.
I mean, Hidden Figures would
Yeah.
have been an interesting one for her. So there is a family connection in actual fact. But
Interesting.
yeah, let me slide over the DVD cover to you.
Wow, powerhouse of women.
Yeah,
Amazing. Yeah, would I read out the synopsis here?
yeah.
It's gotten a 5 stars from Spotlight Report. A truly inspiring and remarkable story that can't be missed.
Spotlight Report again. Like,
Yeah.
Could they not have? This was quite a big film at the time. Could they not have found?
Hey, I'm an avid reader.
Yeah.
Who's the and what's the one on the front?
Oh, that.
Nine's Network.
Wow.
Why
What's
that all about?
And they put a 4.5 star on the front, but a
Yeah.
5 on the back. That doesn't make sense. A powerful feel-good story.
4.5 stars.
Ooh, and Kevin Costner's in it too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Hidden Figures tells the incredible untold story of Katherine Johnson, played by Taraji P. Henson, Dorothy Vaughan, played by Octavia Spencer, and Mary Jackson, Janelle Monáe, brilliant African-American women working at NASA who served as the brains behind the launch into orbit of astronaut John Glenn, a stunning achievement that turned around the space race. The visionary trio crossed all gender and racial lines and inspired generations. I've definitely seen a trailer for this, but I have not seen this
Yeah.
film. It came out kind of recently enough, right?
Wow, 2016.
Wow.
9 long years ago.
I was
9
still
years.
watching that Taiwanese film.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting your way through it.
That's why I missed
DVD
it.
5. Yeah. Yeah, wow.
Wow, I did.
Kev,
Yeah.
have you seen this film?
I've not seen this film, no. I'd like Carla, I know of it, but yeah, I don't know, never got around to seeing it. So I'm keen to watch it. I think obviously the cast looks just incredible. So I'm keen to see how it's portrayed. I mean, why did it miss half a star? That's what I'm going to be wondering throughout the whole film. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did Richard Wilkins have against it?
Oh my God.
But did you say
Just to let you guys know, I've just realised who that is. So I was thinking, Nine Network, they have a Nine Network in Australia. He is from Australia. He's
okay.
There we
go.
Have you got the Australian version?
Maybe it's the Australian version that we have in the shop. Maybe
Yeah,
it's an
wow.
it's a dodgy Australian DVD that someone
Well,
bought back.
you guys will have
switched
to
out
look him up
for the UK
afterwards.
one.
Because
Yeah.
he's a delight. He just
Eating Figures?
yeah.
We have to reread it. A powerful, feel-good story.
There's not enough questions
Your
being
voice
asked here, Carla.
keeps
More
getting better and
questions.
better.
More
Can you do an
inflection.
Australian Michael Caine? I want to see if we can have a crossover.
My name? No.
Ooh, not bad. It was a good opening.
So maybe half a star was deducted because Australia is not mentioned in this film. There was no Australianness to it.
So random.
They
to
felt
have-
it was exclusionary. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Needs a bit more Australia.
Did you say, though, that it's Oscar winning, Randy?
Yeah, well, so when it came out, it was supposed to basically kind of win everything, and it was sort of put forward as almost as one battle after another at the moment is where it was going to be really strong, and then it didn't actually win any Oscars. It got three nominations. It was nominated for the best film. And Octavia Spencer got a nomination for best supporting role, and he got best screenplay. But when it first sort of came out, it seemed to tick all of the Oscar, the Oscar sort of
criteria
checklist as they do. And then it just kind of fizzled a bit, which I don't really know.
Do you
know why?
What took over, or what was out that year that won the most? Putting you on the spot there. Obviously, we'll just edit this out, and it will look like you know immediately.
Exactly. Yeah.
Frantically typing.
Yeah.
Let me just go to my
Yeah.
encyclopedic knowledge of
For anyone listening, he's closing his eyes.
visualizing. Well, it was the Moonlight La La Land year.
Oh,
that year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So missed out to Moonlight. Almost missed out to La La Land because they can't really correctly, but
Warren
missed out to Moonlight. Viola Davis actually won for Best Supporting Role for Fences, which is like a play that her and Denzel did. And then screenplay lost out to Moonlight as well. So
Tough year.
There you go. Yeah.
big year. Yeah. Well, I read Best Actress could have been a shout. To be fair, I think I'm not sure Emma Stone deserved that. Obviously, we love Emma on this. She's even made it into a category, but I'm not sure that her performance in La La Land is.
Do you think it was just because it was such a different type of movie to come out that we haven't had for such a long time that they were just
a musical?
Or like two like big main actors doing like a musical, like a full musical, right? Like it's not.
Yeah, well, and also based in LA, and also about movies and following your dreams and stuff. So it's kind of Oscar baity. My experience. Obviously, we're now talking about a completely different film as we do in the pod. But my experience of La La Land was actually pretty poor because I went to a cinema nearby, which is an awful cinema, and the sound was really messed up for the opening number. So it got better, but I haven't been back to that cinema since, and I haven't actually watched La La Land since because it's kind of like,
tainted.
It's very anti-me, isn't it? It's just like, follow your dreams, just ditch the person that you're in love with, but like have the job that you want. And it's all about your job, really. It's not about the relationships that you forge. It's just, make sure that your job and your career is good. That was the message I took from La La Land, which, not.
You should write that in the Google review for the cinema.
Can you do that? Yeah, 4.5 stars. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my 3-star review on Amazon. If La La Land is on your list for season 2, Kev, then we'll get to it. But
yeah, exactly. Could happen. We'll see.
Yeah. So 2016, Andy. So we went to watch this, funnily enough, at another cinema that I don't really like, but that's more because I don't really like the people that live there and go to that cinema.
I mean, have you got like a separate, like you've got your list of 100 films, have you got a separate list of your 100 cinemas and then a separate one of 100 cinema staff?
The pick and mix is just ridiculous. They have the bad fried eggs. The bad fried eggs.
Hard ones.
We all know when you get like, you're like, fried eggs, and you load up on like 10 of them and you pick and mix, and then you're like, no, these are the ones that taste horrible.
You should always taste them all beforehand and put back the ones you don't like.
Yeah.
Just for anyone international listening to this, they're talking about candy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not actual fried eggs. A handful of fried eggs.
You could just imagine
you're ruining it.
Those people from the
Cinema
UK
in England is weird.
Yeah. It's just like, how long are they left there for? And like,
they're
really into the breakfast.
That English breakfast, it goes everywhere. Yeah, now we go
just
with
a
the
fried egg,
egg.
sausage, a couple of hash browns.
Just served in the popcorn box.
Imagine going into a cinema and getting an English breakfast. That would be awesome.
It'd actually be really good.
Well, there you go. When we open our cinema, we'll do that.
There's not. I'm worried about the shop. There's not much cash in video shops these days. We might. We'll talk about that in between the seasons. But yeah,
long play breakfast has a ring to it.
Our top 100 breakfasts. I served that in cinemas.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so
went to
1998. A particularly good
back to
hash
Hidden
brown.
Figures.
Yeah, such a poignant movie and like a really important story of history. We've just like completely ruined it by fried eggs.
You're going to be thinking about fried eggs the whole way through. No, we went to watch this. I went to watch this with my wife and 2 friends at the cinema. I really remember going to see it very clearly. And this is sort of as I said, this is the best small movie. This is just such an amazingly crafted movie because it has 3 leads. Each of those have a storyline that is complete, and then you have kind of a couple of storylines just overarching all of them, one of which is the space race and one of which is racism. And the way that they blend all of the storylines together, I don't think I've seen in any other film as well as this, because usually you kind of have subplots and you have main plots, and you kind of do in this, but every theme and every kind of strand of story is so well executed and is so sort of full that I just think, we've talked a few times about kind of smaller movies that are just incredibly well made, incredibly self-sufficient, and just are like, you go to the cinema or you watch on DVD and they're just so well put together that the craft and everything else involved in it, regardless of almost the storyline, just makes me smile, because you're just like, that is so well made, that's so well written and executed, and everyone has kind of done exactly what they need to do. And for me, that is this film.
Wow.
And then
you're putting forward a good pitch for this to be number 1. I mean, it's a top six film. And then on the themes, especially kind of the layer of racism, it shows like the big racism and the small everyday racism and the microaggressions and the overarching kind of system that existed at the time so poignantly and so well that it is just an amazing film, just done so well. Like, funnily enough, the director and the writers haven't actually gone on and particularly done other stuff, which when I was kind of looking it up, I was quite surprised at. It was like a box office sensation. Obviously, we're a little bit more used to seeing films like this now kind of be big at the box office, which is great. This was, a little bit of a precursor to that. On a 25 million budget, did over 230 million at the box office, and is just sort of one of those films that you can watch over and over again. There's so many sort of small bits to it. One thing I will call out, so the soundtrack is just amazing. Like, you can listen to the soundtrack kind of completely separate to this, and the fact that they kept the soundtrack contemporary even for a 1960s movie, I think just works so well, because it does kind of then connect it with life now, and kind of shows that kind of progression, and is just a great storyline, obviously set in the 60s, but kind of shows that kind of that it isn't the kind of the 60s music and stuff. I want to kind of call that out, because the album is amazing as well, and kind of listen to that all the time as well. But I love this film to death. It is just such a well-made movie. It's going to hit pretty hard when we don't like it, isn't it, Andy? It's going to cut quite deep.
I mean, if I took notice of your opinion, Kev, we wouldn't have a podcast, I don't think so.
We wouldn't work in the same shop. Yeah, it's fine.
But Andy, I'm curious. You're saying that the director and the team behind this haven't really gone on to do much more after this. Do you think it was partially also because it was such a passion project to tell this story for them, or do kind of like had they done much before?
They hadn't. They hadn't really done. They hadn't really done that much before. The writer, funnily enough, so the writer who sort of adapted the novel and wrote the novel, or not even, it's not really a novel, but like the book it's based on, also kind of grew up in NASA. So I think her dad was something to do with NASA. So I think it was very much a kind of a passion project for her, and she hasn't kind of done that much else. And then from the director's point of view, I think just kind of on the CV, I guess you have to then go and do something just as big, and to kind of to show, and like he hasn't really done that. He's gone on to smaller projects and stuff, and maybe just didn't made the film, liked it, and didn't particularly want to then go into the Hollywood machine and kind of
which makes sense as well.
Live his life.
Well, I mean, his follow-up was El Camino Christmas. We're not having that down as a big hit today.
Shh, don't spoil the other dice roll.
I mean,
come.
obviously, maybe in season 2. I don't know.
More likely in season 2. Yeah.
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 But
funny.
I think that
this is
almost
your-
makes it almost more impressive that it all comes together. And it's
So
not by
much,
accident. It's just like they worked hard and it all came together. And as I say, like the blending of the storylines with kind of the 3 leads, realistically, when they all kind of come together, their chemistry is amazing. But then they're all such great actresses that they can all carry their storylines by themselves. And then it is quite rare as well that with that, when they then do kind of get together, that like, it doesn't always work when you have 3 really good actresses together, but like their dynamic is literally in the first 5 minutes of the film. Their dynamic is established so well that you kind of you instantly get it. And it's such a great start to the film where you're like, oh, okay, almost like I know everything about this dynamic, and you can kind of just relax into the film. So,
And so is this the youngest film, I guess, on your fist in the most recent film?
No, Tick Tick Boom was
okay.
it was 2021, right? 'Cause that was
Okay.
the COVID. But I think it's it's up there. I think like maybe 3rd or 4th. You got Jojo Rabbit as well, which was 2019.
God.
But just an instant classic. When I watched it, I was just like, that's just such an excellent movie. Always, I
The
sort
fact
of
that it's
love
based
it
on
when
a
you
true
have
story.
that. Yeah, well, we just got together afterwards, and you usually have a chat about the film, and we were just all smiling, just being like, no, that was just amazing, like brilliant. And you almost, okay, well, we're gonna go for something to drink. You don't almost have to talk about it, right? You're just like, that's just amazing. And when I was talking to, funnily enough, the person who I went to see it with, and I was saying like, it's going to be one of the dice rolls, and he said, oh yeah, I haven't seen it since, but like I vividly remember watching it with you, and like love the movie, and they haven't revisited it. But it's also been on TV a few times and stuff, and so and we do put down for posterity that we do have a family connection, where my wife's mum, I think it's like 4th cousin, but essentially like one of her cousins was one of the computers in the in the like the group, wasn't one of the main
Did you know that?
characters, but worked in NASA.
Did you know that before you watched it or after?
No. We were just doing some family tree stuff. Funnily enough, last time that we were with her family, and so we were just looking up, and then I was sort of looking it up, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit weird. And then I kind of followed. It's very difficult reading family trees when they're not actually like they're drawn out, when it's just like a book of lists, but you're like, oh, I have to go back, and then you have to do that. But my daughter like went in with like a sort of a page that we'd printed out and stuff for her school, and she was really proud of it. So it's had
so cool.
had a big effect on her as well, because she's like, oh well, my great aunt was one of these people. So it's super inspiring, and really inspiring story as well, I think. So
again, it's always like those kinds of stories as well just illustrate why this type of movie making is so important as well. Really getting into the weeds of untold stories, because there's so much history, otherwise that's just gonna go like unknown in the mainstream.
And especially,
I'm really looking forward to watching this.
Especially now in the US, right, where it's getting more diversive and polarizing. Just to remember that, we're all just humans. It's all, we're all on the same planet, trying to do the same things.
All trying to get off the same planet.
Just trying to work for NASA. We're all trying to do that. Is that?
I mean,
they
don't.
Sorry.
There's no controversy here. They don't go to the moon, so we don't have to get into an argument about whether that was true or not, like we did for Interstellar. So it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I wonder, is there like a 5 degrees of separation for every one of Andy's films with space travel.
Well, it was funny
Yes.
because when we were talking in Interstellar, you did say like, "Oh, is this the last space movie?" And I was like, "Kind of," because this isn't a space movie, but
Yeah,
it
It's
does
kind of
have
another 6.
it does have a shot in space. So
Yeah, because also think about it. Empire Records, The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
We can pull this thread.
there are a lot.
Ferris Bueller is going on.
Yeah. He looks up at the sky at some point. Yeah. Oh, well, I think this should be a good
How
one.
exciting.
Awesome.
I think definitely out of
Yeah.
all the ones that are left, you've lucked out there, Carla. That's for sure. I'm in fear for Poppy, but yeah.
How so out of the last 3, how many have you seen, Kev? You haven't seen any of them. So how do you know?
I
maybe
have.
you've seen one of them.
I've seen one of them. There's an incorrect piece on the spreadsheet of dreams. I have seen one of them.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Which is a good movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
And then so then you don't know the last 2. So show your face.
Yeah, hater.
Hey, guys,
We've lasted
the
this long. We've got
decade-long
through.
Taiwanese film. You know,
Imagine how long your
Decade.
beard's going to be at the end of that.
You'll be like the old lady at the end of Titanic.
I'll just be like when Poppy's on, I'll be like, "We're really sorry, Poppy, but we've done all the other films. There's only one left. We know what it is. Just
This
tell us
is
what
why.
sweets you want, whatever popcorn, what other ice cream. We'll get it all in."
No, she'll love it.
Yeah. Well,
Cool.
this will be good though.
Wow.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. True
Yeah,
story.
no,
always
I'm
good.
looking.
That's fair.
I'm looking for. I hadn't realised that neither of you had seen it, so I'm looking forward to you guys
Yeah.
watching it as well because
Yeah.
Come on, dice roll number 3. Woo!
just starting to live your life. Have you ever read Dice Man? Just live your life by the roll of the dice.
Yeah.
It's,
Maybe you should
it's
start
the
go
way
to the
go.
casino, play some crabs.
Yeah.
See what you think after. Cool. Well, yeah, we're gonna put it on. I'm not gonna do a prediction because
Ooh.
if you don't like this film, then you're both dead to me because it's just a wonderful film. And I think you'll love it because it's just such a wonderful film. This
okay.
isn't an Andy film. There's no controversy here. There's nothing to see here. Just let's just move on, put the movie on, and jump back after the jump.
Moving. I find this film extremely moving, and I'm not afraid to admit that I cried a lot
Oh, wow.
watching. So I had a very strong reaction to this film. I thought it was great.
Yeah, nice.
Very
good.
Nice. What do we go straight in with what the moments are that made you cry?
Yeah, I think it was just like overall, it just really pulls you into so many different aspects of life back then, but also still problems that are prevalent in today's society, especially in America. So I think it was like the highs and lows, obviously when something terrible, the discrimination that these women were subjected to, that was like on a very sad, teary moment. But then when they'd have these victories, like when she was coming out of the courthouse after the judge, made this crazy new decision. It was like, yes, you were just like so delighted for her. And I think there were just so many of those moments of like small victories in the face of perseverance. So, I just thought it was full of highs and lows. And then to your point, what you were saying in the beginning, Andy, you just kind of leave it feeling like hopeful and happy.
Yeah.
Who knew maths could do that?
Oh, nice.
I mean, who knew that? I've got to say, they do selling maths in. They do a very good job of making this a good film, considering the majority of it is revolving around maths. So it's very impressive.
Well, I'd forgotten. Funnily enough, my wife watched it with me as well, and I'd forgotten that literally 5-minute interlude at the start with her as a young girl. And I just thought, just straight away, she's at a whiteboard, she's at a chalkboard, she's at a blackboard, like with the chalk, and I was like, this is for you, Kev. I know that you love maths on a blackboard. So
I put my first note was opening with maths, brilliant. Now you're talking my language. Second one, now you introduce a blackboard, you've lost me. That was.
Did you understood what she was saying when she's explaining the equation?
Yeah, that just
and you
brings
were
me
like,
back to those horrific days.
Informative. It's like a
You're
TED
like,
talk.
it's quite simple. What a simple equation.
Well, and then I got permission to mention that when the parents they're talking about you have to move for her school, my wife made a joke and said, "Oh, it's just like David Beckham."
So similar.
Obviously, very very similar. Very similar story. Kev, what was your one word reaction?
Hyphenated. I put groundbreaking. So yeah, it was very impressive. There was more research done for this one as well, Andy. I hope you appreciate this.
Here we go. Have you read the book?
I mean, come on.
97 episodes in, you're really getting into your stride.
I mean, obviously, didn't read the book. I didn't go that far. Let's like baby steps, but but no, I was intrigued into how many of the scenes were actually true versus not, and I mean, especially as it being sort of that sort of era. You're like, have they just added these? Obviously, it's a film, so you're dramatizing it, adding in some more stuff to make it more entertaining. So I was interested to see how much of it was actually true, but so much of it was, which just makes it, like I said, even more sort of groundbreaking. As you're saying, Carla, when Mary comes out of the court and she gets access to that was all true. That did happen. She did get access to do that. So that's like mind blowing that she would think, someone's got to be and that speech was just amazing. Like someone's got to be the first to do this. You were the first judge to it was so clever. So yeah, there was a lot of moments where I looked up the scenes and, they were true and it was very impressive. And you kind of forget as well, like how crazy everyone was about space. And they're like, God, as soon as you go into space, you're going to send a missile over. Like that was, I guess, understandably so after 2 world wars. But just like everyone's like, as soon as they do the spaceship, a missile is coming. Like that was like the thing. It will just happen. And it was just mad to think that's what everyone thought.
Well, when they say, the Russians were up there taking photos of us straight away, thinking of thinking that it's the early 60s, can you imagine like what that photo would look like? It would be like 1 megapixel from space. Like
that's America.
It would be like, exactly. Barely, maybe. That's the Earth. We've got the Earth.
Who's good at magic eye?
There's definitely someone in.
Can you work this out?
But also
on a cloudy
to what
day.
you're saying, Kev, about them saying as soon as they get up there, they're gonna send a missile. Like that was also such a good line when they say that's what happens to all our good ideas. Because like, the Americans, they're like, we're the bad guys. We came up with that idea.
I love when the three of them together. Like all the time when the three of them are together, it's just so funny. Like I say, like I love that first scene with the car where you kind of you instantly get like the dynamic, but between them, and then the fact that when she gets promoted, like they wait for her, and like they're waiting for her, and then they're in the car like afterwards, and they're all having doubts, but they're like helping each other get through. And then they go to the on the Sunday they go to the church thing, and just the way that like they like usher him over, and then they go for pie, and she's like, "You've got pie," and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to get some more." And it's just like the dynamic of the three of them are just the thing that's so heartwarming, and it's lovely.
Good.
Yeah, it is good, and I think you're right. You need those real moments, don't you? I mean, you can't have a 2-hour film about maths. That is too much. You need to add some other stuff in. That's just not on. And
but for the dynamic between the three of them to be so strong, but then each of them again to like have their moments, because that's the thing. You sort of say about the speech of the courthouse, and like her reaction afterwards is just really great. you've got kind of the private lives, I think, with especially with the kids, and then I do get emotional at the proposal
Yeah,
scene,
me too.
just because like when she's like, oh, I'm not going to stand this, and then she sees the box, and then. But then Octavia Spencer is also just incredible in it. I think Octavia Spencer is just like, she can deliver like a fuck you line with a smile on her face better than I think any other actor ever. And when she's like, oh no, I know that you believe that. Yeah. You're just like, it's just so good. So like for the structure of the film to let each of them shine in their own way, but then be able to bring them all together. But then, like, have these other things going on.
Which just shows you that
it's an amazing thing.
Is real life, right? These three people existed at the same time
it's incredible.
In a segregated world in the US. It's bonkers, right? I mean, such intelligence, and each of them went on their own journey and did incredible, amazing things. It's just amazing.
Even if they're, like say these were three white male characters and they're three best friends and they're all that much of achievers, that alone is exceptional. True. And then when you see everything that they were up against and still just for these trailblazers, it really is amazing.
And absolutely incredible. And like I said, like when I was looking up the key scenes, it's like this did actually happen, that did actually happen, they did it, and you're just like, wow, they did all these things, like while also, like you said, like trying to just get their own rights while also just trying to do their job. It's just and it's like, as a woman and as a black woman, it's just crazy to think that you just do all that as well as your own job. It's just and then obviously you got your family that you're looking after as well. So incredible that these three people existed at the same time in the same company. Just unbelievable. But very, very impressive.
Yeah, awesome. Obviously, it is set back in the 60s. So I think it captures the time very well. I do love the little thing about, we had a drill about hiding under our desk in case there's a nuclear attack. I wonder, like nowadays, whether you wouldn't be able to convince the Gen Zs that getting underneath their desk would actually help.
You would have to give them a participation award, right, before they started.
Yeah, but I suppose now that same thing is happening in America, but for different fears, right?
Lock-ins. It's
true.
It's still a crazy country in many ways.
It really is.
Yeah. It's
and I think that's what's interesting about it's obviously some things are dated by history that we've moved on, but so much is still very relevant to today. So even though it's like a historical film, it's still really
it's a shame, isn't it, that so much of that what they're going through, like what is it? It was in the 60s, so you're looking at like 60 years ago, and we're feel like we've come full circle. We've just gone back to where we were, and it's like, how has this happened? How have we gone from the unnecessary and ridiculousness of segregation to almost going back to that again now? It just it is crazy. It does seem.
And I think, because obviously the film came out in 2016 as well, right? So that was at the first, the first time around for the president. And it's sort of interesting that I think there was listening to some of the podcasts and reading sort of some of it when it came out, was a bit like, this is timely now in 2016. And then you're kind of like, okay, well, it's almost even more timely now. And almost like, I think if it came out now, it would do even better and even more. And almost that's why I think it is a film that should be revisited, because I think it kind of pulls it all together, right? And says, I think there is the great line where he says, like, we either all get there together or we don't get there. And you're just kind of like, at some stage, the human race kind of has to realize that actually, like, if we don't all get together at some stage, none of us are going to survive. And so,
the machines. I did think that was interesting
it's coming
with
up, isn't it?
Dorothy, when she learns it, like she sees that the huge IBM machine come in, and she's like, I can see what's going to happen here, and so she took it upon herself to work out how to use it so that she, didn't become obsolete. And I was thinking, is that feels like that's a similar thing to like AI now, where people are like panicking about AI, but rather than going, how do I learn it so that I don't become obsolete, everyone's just constantly telling people they're scared that AI is going to steal their job. It's the differential of the work ethic, right, from that time to now. It's just very different.
Yeah, just do what needs to get done. And I love that scene where she's just like, well, that's in the wrong place.
So good.
She just
I love that.
And that's the thing. There's so many they use sort of these little moments just to kind of show, which I think is really great to sort of movify it as well.
Was there anything new that you noticed in this time watching it, Andy?
I think that the passing of the chalk, like when she was little, and then Kevin Costner doing it in the meeting, I hadn't clocked like that was obviously a callback and was quite a sort of like blatant callback in some ways, and I kind of hadn't because frankly I kind of had forgotten the bit
that happens
where she's
in
young
those
at
two
the start
scenes.
Of it. Exactly. So I thought it kind of started with them in the car, but there's a really nice callback I think there where she's given the chalk in the classroom, and then it's the same like shot from the blackboard. Which I think is just really good, right? And it's kind of showing that she's at the top of the game, and she's the person being asked to work these things out, both when she was small and then when in that room, which again is brilliant when they're like, well, you're not allowed women in the room, and like there's so much subtext to it that you're like, really, is that the reason? And so I think that's great, and I love that. Again, like just from a film point of view, like her putting her name on the reports is just like such a great, like, these are my calculations, like, and then they sort of allowed the character at the end because he brings her the coffee right at the end, and then she puts
which is a great moment. It's like so subtle but also so meaningful when you watch that movie.
I mean, that speech she has,
exactly,
when she's talking to Kevin Costner, she's talking about the coffee and obviously having and having to go to the bathroom. So that was, I mean, I looked at that because I was like, was that true? So not all of it was true, but still, from the cinematic point of view, it was very impressive. Like, it was she delivers that so well. So and
I love that she just leaves then.
She's like, I guess mic
like,
drop.
And like leaves with her head held high as well, which I think is super fun. And then Kevin Costner chews a lot of gum, I would say. I don't know whether Wrigley were
he's the Brad Pitt of chewing gum.
That was clearly something that he decided his character did, because boys, there were a lot of shots of him.
Is that historically accurate, Kev? Did you check?
I did check that, and although that character is not real, they did chew a lot of gums.
He did die of throat cancer because the chemicals they put in gum at the time were super
probably got like nicotine in. Yeah. What about the deep fake then? I mean, I don't think you could even think about deep faking anyone into this, could you?
No.
So it was definitely
everyone. The three main leads. And again, like, there's so few films where you can say the three main leads did really well. Like there's literally, I think, only a couple of others where it works this well to have three really strong characters on the screen, both individually and together,
all holding.
And,
just doesn't.
And that's the thing,
happen.
and it's a true story, right? So
exactly,
you've got to hold up, what the incredible things of what these three women did. So it's not just you've got to get a great performance. You're like, also, this was real. So you've really got to deliver. You've got to do honor to the people of what they actually did. So. And, it feels like they definitely did that. Like, it was, like you said, incredible performance individually and collectively. Yeah.
And again, I mean, obviously, we don't use the Oscars as a barometer of anything. But, like, again, Octavia Spencer gets a Best Supporting Actress nomination for it. But you're just like, but all three of them
Yeah.
should have been in there, and the film should have been just should have been celebrated more, because even from a like technical point of view, you just even if you're just looking at it as a film and not like the consequences of it, and not the telling of the story and the shining a light in stories that weren't being told, it's an amazing achievement just as a film. And then you throw in everything else, and again you're like, okay, I'm sure, Gosling and Stone dancing in LA was all very well and good, but like, come on now.
There are too many blackboards, Andy. That's the problem.
I think not enough.
Too many blackboards. Not enough. There's only so much maths that people will swallow, and that was too much.
I mean, definitely best use of blackboard as well, because there's different. That ones.
Is good.
Like
I did
shapes.
enjoy that.
She has the
ladder
one with the ladder.
I enjoyed that.
That's great.
But I was also even thinking about that from an acting perspective. Like, when someone has to play a doctor and they have to learn all the medical terms, which are really complex. Taraji P. Henson had to learn writing all the equations, like speaking about maths in such a complicated way. That would be, I think that would be like learning another language.
Yeah, it would be a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. Kev can teach
if you want to know some more about this, let me know.
I'll buy a tractor today.
My favourite instrument, I mean, I think that's one of the things, like when you think about it, obviously there's so many things going on as like subtext underneath the whole film, but I mean, at its core, it is about maths, right? And so it is impressive that you've made that entertaining as well, because it could have been, I mean, obviously at the time, and this was one of the things I wrote down as well, just like thinking about being the first to anything, like just thinking about being the first person to consider getting into like a metal tin can and just going up around the earth at, 1,700 miles per hour, whatever it was, kilometers per hour. So, I mean, those sort of things, just crazy to think that people were actually going to do that, and they're like, I want to be the first one. You're like, how do you think that, like, do you really think you're going to survive? Like, and then people are just like, well, someone's got to be first, right? And so it's incredible to think back then. Exactly, like people would just do it. And I don't know, I just feel like it made me think about, like driverless cars. So we're all absolutely crapping ourselves about that. And I'm just like, why are we worrying so much? Someone went up into space and like didn't, just thought, didn't have the fear. Also, that spaceship could have landed anywhere in theory, right? So it could have landed on a house or something. So it's like, I just think like maybe we've lost that, we've spent so much time of just progressing and with software that we've forgotten about, actually doing like proper tangible things and just getting out there and doing it first.
Someone was the first person to put olive oil on ice cream. There's those kinds of things.
Exactly. Different types of heroes. That's a good point.
We're still pushing the boundaries.
There's still discovery to be had.
That is true,
and that's a risk. That is a risk, because if that doesn't work,
I mean,
there's judgment. There's bad flavor.
I mean, you're right. That is true.
Probably a day or two of it just not being very nice.
It stays in the mouth for ages.
So I think, Kev, you'll have your moment.
There are still high risks out there.
But that's the thing, isn't it? It's the great unknown, where even with that, they say about, they've got the sort of archive footage of the dog going up and coming back. And they're like, so we've proved that that something can survive in space. And you think, well, like before that, they didn't even know
if you'd make it.
Like, could you, what happened when you left? And so, it is obviously like, the whole, like, and then, because it's so expensive, and then obviously because of the Challenger explosion in particular, we then stopped investing in it, which is is interesting then to see it sort of.
I must say on this, I would rather we spent more time investigating like the oceans and like our actual planet than space. Just to put that out there, that is my own view. But yes, I would much rather Elon Musk spent his money there than on his little rocket ship that he had.
For good, cleaning it up, right? Not deep sea mining.
You're right. True. True.
Yeah, exactly.
For good.
Yeah.
Not, so maybe
I would
not
rather
Elon.
Elon Musk didn't have that money and it was given to someone that was going to do something that might impact
true.
The wider world in a
insane.
bit of a better way. Which although just to say, I saw on Instagram the other day that apparently Gen Alphas are using Elon Musk as like almost like a swear word.
Oh, really?
Someone was saying that they were playing Mario Kart with their son, and they got like a shell, and they said, "Oh, you've Elon Musked that." And he said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Oh, it just means you didn't deserve it."
No way! That's so good.
Wow.
That might just be one person making that up on Instagram, but I'm all for trying to put that out into
You heard it here
the
first,
world,
people.
so that people use it.
But I've got a question for you both. Kevin Costner. Now, I am quite a good fan of Kevin Costner, and I thought he was great in this. But what happens to him? I feel like he does really well, and then he fades away. Does his ego just get too big, or like what goes on? Like I feel like he's faded away so many times, and he comes back, and then I don't know. Does he become
You
too
mean
big?
in the film or in his career?
In his career, but also in the film. Yeah. Yeah, in his career.
He seems all right,
Yeah.
but then he's not a very good manager.
He never says thanks or sorry because it's going to take him too long.
But I wonder, is he the kind of actor who just every now and then needs a cash injection? And he's like,
Okay.
I'll do something and then I'll go back and not do anything.
Because then, he did Yellowstone and that exploded, right? And then I guess you never know, but you hear these stories that like he wasn't
It's
going
hard
back
to work
in
with.
or would, so does he
Also, Yellowstone must have wreaked havoc on his vocal cords. That voice that he had is done.
Oh, I haven't seen it
Yeah, I
yet.
don't
I'll have to watch
know.
it.
What did he do after this? Nothing until Yellowstone.
Oh, he must have done some
No,
stuff.
he was in some smaller stuff,
Like cameos.
but yeah, and then obviously Yellowstone was
Yeah, the big one.
Was the higher thing. But then he also made his like passion project, which didn't do very well at all. No, well, funnily enough, like that's kind of the thing, is that I would say he has this sort of success and then he takes a big swing on something that he's very passionate about, and sometimes that really hits, like Dances with Wolves, which, like, whatever you think of it, was the biggest movie like almost ever at the time. Like, it was huge and made him, like, he produced it and wrote it and like made so much money. Waterworld then didn't, and so then that kind of impacted him, and then he's done like Horizon, an American Saga is what it's called, which he's completely financed. And knowing how you're looking at me, that is basically how everyone looks at it.
That film.
It didn't do very well at all. So,
was it a golfing film he did with Robin Wright Penn? Or it was like a love story? Or am I mixing two films together? Maybe it wasn't golfing. Okay. Phew.
Yeah.
I know movies.
Great film.
No, Tin Cup was Rene Russo.
Oh, okay.
But I love Tin Cup.
Yeah.
Tin Cup's, I mean, obviously Happy Gilmore kind of comes in and steals its parade. But no, Tin Cup's really good. Obviously, you've got him in like The Bodyguard and JFK and stuff. And so I think he wants to be like, he's that kind of all-American actor that, like, he has a niche and then he tries to kind of get out of it, but like, I don't know, sort of middle management, or like I think this role for me is just like the perfect role for him, where you're just like, he's got some authority. There's a certain type of 1960s American man that he is, that you just think, you know what, you are that guy. He doesn't have to have, he's not emotional. He doesn't really have an emotional range, but that's because people didn't have an emotional range. That's why, like, in The Bodyguard, where he doesn't have to show emotions, he's quite good. And in Dance with the Wolves, where he doesn't have to show emotions, he's quite good. So I think, like, there's a role that I think he's very good at. And then he kind of, wants to tell the story of America and be like almost more of a Robert Redford. And I just, I'm not sure that I buy him as that. And I'm not sure that, like, a lot of people buy him as that. But he is really good in
Yeah.
this. I think like because you need that sort of a little bit of gravitas for his part as well. And I think the fact that it is like Kevin Costner just kind of does elevate it a little bit more, because it does sort of because he's so much more famous than everyone, it does like separate him out from everyone, which you kind of need for the role as well, which I think is.
But I also think
is
like
really good.
in this film, it's great that there's even these big male characters, but they do take a backseat to the three women.
Yeah.
Like you can have a Kevin
Yeah.
Costner, but he's kind of the least memorable out of this amazing cast, which is great. And the same with Mahershala Ali, like what a big actor to have in it as well. And then, well, I suppose maybe he wasn't as big at the time, but like, they're taking a backseat, which is great. I'm all for it.
Yeah. Although that's I do love the like romance and like the love story. I do think that it does. Again, I think that's, as I said before, like it just grounds the film so well that like that he's in this, but like that you're not just, it's not just at work. You do see the kind of the private lives of them. Kind of all as well. And so funnily enough, I mean, he won the Oscar this year in Moonlight as well. Nice. So like, you know, for him to come through, and he's great in it because she's great in it, and like that like I think that shows kind of for her character, and I think that's, you know, what the male characters do is as you say, they're the backseat, because actually you need to see that she is resilient and that she, you know, that she isn't going to just kind of take crap all the time, and that she sort of holds herself back because of the situation, but is actually like a very strong character, because otherwise it doesn't make sense that she would be able to accomplish what she accomplishes, because obviously she's such a strong character, because she does all of that. And I think that's why having the scenes at home, like and having that, which, you know, is almost, she achieved everything at work, and she was also you know, they were married for 60 years until he died when he was 93. She lived to 101. Like that's part of her story as well. So which character? I mean, obviously you went for Glenn, didn't you, Kev? I just know.
I was actually trying to remember some of the male characters in it, because you're so like you know, engrossed in the three females like storylines. But I was trying to think, God, who are the men in it? And obviously, other than like Kevin Costner. So just remember Glenn. That guy's everywhere at the moment, and I'm watching Chad Powers. So I thought, all right, game on.
Yeah. This is kind of the start. This is one of the early ones.
Yeah, he's like everywhere now.
Yeah.
He's like in some other movie that's coming out, and he's on this. I mean, good luck to him. Why not?
Isn't he the guy they say looks like a capybara or whatever that animal is called?
What is that?
Have you seen those
look like a
memes?
capybara.
We have to look.
No, I haven't.
He's a capybara.
But he absolutely does. I know instantly. I know.
When he has his little beard.
I would agree with
Wow.
Years. I think he's even said he's seen the memes.
Amazing. Poor old Glenn.
I chose as the character I would like to be. It was Mrs. Vaughn. I just thought she's. Yeah, I loved her character. And also, I guess, like, the Catherine and Mary are on the opposite sides of the spectrum of, like, being quiet or outspoken. And she's somewhere in the middle. And I identify most with that myself. I could, work for IBM and...
Yeah, do it.
No, but I loved her character as well. Yeah, she was just really...
Very impressive, aren't they? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
what about you then?
She brings them all together.
What did you have, Andy?
Yeah, well, so looking at sort of some of the smaller characters. So when they get told to phone home, one of the guys hands her his phone, and we agreed that actually that was quite nice of him.
Oh, right.
That was like a little his basically desk buddy. That's like I don't actually agree with everyone else, but I'm not going to speak out. But here's my phone if you want to use it. And then just before then, So I was watching it with my wife, and when it handed the phone, she was a bit like, oh, that's someone that you could be. But just before then, when he's talking about like, we're going to be working really hard in the room with all of the men, and he says, and don't expect your paycheck to reflect it. They get just it's just an instant, but one of the guy is really like, oh. and you just sort of, as he says that, you just see one guy react. Obviously he's in the moment and thinking, oh, I should act as if I'm disappointed, even though obviously that's not the point of the speech at all. But he does, just one guy who's like, oh, I've got to work hard, I'm not going to get paid.
This is rubbish. Yeah. No one's going to remember my name.
This is rubbish.
Yeah, it's too hard to pronounce.
What talk is this? Oh, yeah, you're all going to be working hard, and we're not going to pay you more. If anyone doesn't like that, you can leave. Okay, well, it's been real. See you later.
I think that mindset has just continued, hasn't it? I don't see that's changed.
That was the first Gen Z.
The start of it all,
right there. And
so there's so many good lines in this. Then, so go on, start us off with some. Carla.
I loved when Mrs. Vaughn says, I sound like a supervisor, don't I? When she's in the back of the car and I just thought it was really nice. I also thought the line when she's speaking to her kids and she says separate and equal are two different things. And then she says, you act right, you are right. You know what I mean? And I just thought it was like, just the conversations parents would have had to have with their kids at that time. I thought that was just really powerful. And and then, I mean, these aren't my favorite lines because they're nice, but also when the woman when Catherine moves to the new area and she says, sorry, I have no idea where your bathroom is. I was just like, oh, it just hurts so much to hear. And she just has to brush it off. So most of my lines were kind of sad, actually.
But again, just like you said, it's reflective of the time, isn't it? Just like, just the basic things you don't even think of that you take for granted now. Yeah.
And just how
not just
little people cared about how hurtful what they were saying what actually was, or not even realized.
I think that complete ignorance. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, there's so, I mean, the entire script I think is super well written. I love it at the beginning though, when they're together and they say, when the policeman's walking over, nobody wants to go to jail behind your mouth. I think that's a great,
that's a good start.
That's a great thing that only your good friends can say that. I love it when Catherine says to Kevin Costner when he's like, well, who makes these decisions? And she says, you're the boss. You just have to act like one. Sir.
And then sort of moves away a little bit.
You just have to act like it. And I think that's a great one. I love it when Glenn's in space and the guy who's talking to him, which I think is probably the worst person to be doing that. Have you heard any banging noises? Just
like that's going to be a good thing. Yeah, I have. Is that okay?
It hasn't been quiet. I've been on a rocket propelled to space. But although, to be honest with you, even with that, Glenn says it's getting a bit bumpy in here, and you're like, oh, all right. Like, what did you expect? Suspension or something.
The seat's quite hard. It's no padding.
And then I think what Dorothy says, somewhere down the line someone is going to have to press the buttons, is AI, right? Actually, there's always going to have to be someone feeding the punch cards in. So I think that, as you say, like the entire kind of arc of that story is just great. Although no spoilers, but some people in the reviews we'll get to.
Oh, okay.
What about you, Kev? Any others or any that describe the podcast?
There was one other one that I really liked when they're all at the like picnic after the church, and they're all talking at the table, and then they're talking about the guy over the other side, and she's like, "Oh, Mary, it's Sunday. Please have some shame." And I thought that was a good line.
At least on a Sunday,
exactly.
Have some shame.
And then they have like here at NASA we all pee the same color, but that was quite nice.
That was actually that was That was one of the questions, actually, because I always thought it's not just people at NASA who pee the same color. I'm fairly sure it's like everyone.
No, they pee a different color
I
to
think
everyone
it's
else.
nice that he's like, only the people in NASA pee the same color. You'd be like, no, I think it's everyone.
That was the line I
not.
used to describe the podcast.
We all pee the same color.
The stringent drug test before anyone gets onto this podcast. We make sure that everyone's abiding by
How
the
do I
rules.
know that for a fact? But I'd hazard a guess.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with that chat about Elon just now, I think nobody wants to go to jail behind your mouth. Might be mine for the podcast.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, I will pick that up. What about reviews then?
Yeah, so some very interesting 3-star reviews. First of all, someone that just has an eye on the Taiwanese movie coming in. 2 days to finish watching the film once started is ridiculous. I only got to watch half a film. It should be 30 days, like the time you get to watch it before started.
What?
You're like, oh. So you weren't going to watch this all in one sitting. That person is not going to make it through the Taiwanese movie.
The problem is not with the film at all, just their rental service.
But they had to watch a 2-hour film and they were only given 48 hours to watch it. That's just I mean, who comes up with these rules? Nothing about the inspiring story of marginalized people. No. It's decided to leave it. Fantastic story, incredible people and great acting. But the inaccuracies on the technical side were seriously frustrating.
Jeez.
Did they not consult with mathematicians and engineers on this thing? Yeah, thanks, Pete.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
I mean, who's going into the details of the maths? I mean, I guess that they should have checked, but still, read the room.
One of the cosines was wrong. You picked up on that, Kev. I know that really bothered you.
That was the first thing I've written down, but I didn't want to bring it up. So,
put your blackboard away. No, put your blackboard away. We don't want to see it. Put it back in. Don't go over to it. Someone said good acting and eye-opening regarding segregation back in the 60s, which we forget.
Should we?
I'm not sure that everyone forgets it. I'm not sure that many people actually forget that there was segregation in the 60s. No. So that's a
white person.
That's a bit weird. It could have been really great, but making it so girly detracted it from the main messages.
Oh my goodness! I need that person's name.
Yeah, wow. People really did miss it, didn't they?
Yeah.
These are all Gen Z, obviously.
Yeah. These are the negative 3 stars reviewed. I love this movie because it shows 3 strong, very smart women. I purchased this movie for my daughter because she wants to be an engineer when she's an adult, but it won't play on my DVD player.
Bad times.
I can only watch this on my laptop for some reason.
Well, daughter's going to be an engineer. Yeah. Come on. Go and fix that DVD player. Yeah.
But again, as we say, what a great film to be able to show people and
exactly. What you can do.
Use it, right, to inspire. And then this is one of my favorite 3-star reviews of all time, obviously, because we've all worked in tech in our time. The story ignores the support from the hardware provider, which was presumably IBM. This would be a very important account to IBM. In those days, all services were bundled. Yeah. If you bought or leased the computer, the price included systems engineering support, hardware and software education, complete documentation, and often programming services. The movie ignored all this and made it seem like the women did everything on their own.
Wow. I mean,
sorry, and this was a 3-star review.
They're upset about this film because it didn't show that IBM provided technical support, which it would have done. But also, it did. Those 2 people were in the room, right? And actually, Kevin Costner says, I'm not going to pay you. I'm not going to pay any of you. Those are presumably the software people from IBM that they sent. They just didn't know about it.
They're definitely people from IBM, aren't they?
Actually, that review is wrong on so many levels that we should give them some sort of award. because
Yeah.
yeah.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
I think that I'm fairly sure that I've interviewed that person for a job in technology, though, to be honest with you. There's a few of them. And then there was a French review that just said du vent, which is it's windy.
Okay.
And I didn't.
That sounds
I
more
didn't
like
know. The French,
a
they're
cry
so
for
in,
help than a review.
Yeah.
they're so they're just so inscrutable, aren't they? The French. So no idea.
They're just
No idea
enigmas,
what
aren't
they
they?
mean by that.
That's
Yeah.
a little computer gag. for
So
you.
That's why I
Nice.
didn't get it.
nice coding. Could you explain it to us?
I'll write it down. Yeah.
And then again, just to show, very bad 3-star reviews for this. It was okay, but no real story.
my God, what's
I
wrong
mean,
with
there's so
people?
many stories in this film.
They were definitely
Yeah.
on their phone
Yeah.
while they were watching it.
Yeah. They must have got a different DVD.
Yeah, so that's the interesting thing, isn't it? And I do think when the movies are so good, then the 3-star reviews like are
Good as
really
well.
like damning of the people
Oh, who write them.
who have done it, which is great comedy foil
it's
for a
great for us.
podcast such as Long Play Vizio. Please subscribe and like on your podcast app. But it's interesting when they're just more like middling of the road than the
true.
3-star review. Some of them it could sound like the movie was great, but they've just given it 3 stars because it arrived a day later than they wanted to. So
Tough times for people. Really is.
yeah. So double feature. I mean, where do you go from this, or do you have this? I mean, this basically, in my opinion, you could watch any film. Like you could watch the scariest or worst film before this film, and then after this film, you'd be like,
Fine.
"Oh,
Yeah.
no,
okay.
that was good. That was nice."
What did you have, Carla?
I went with Charlie's Angels.
Oh, nice. Bit light relief. keep the girl power going.
Another dynamic 3 actresses.
Similar impact on the world. So
Presumably before, because otherwise Charlie's Angels is not going to bear the
Yes,
comparison.
probably before, yes.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of films with a trio of women that are
Nice.
strong characters, and that was the first one that came to my mind. I'm sure I'm doing
Nice.
many films a disservice right now.
It's a good one. Why not?
What did you have, Kev?
This was. I really found this a really tough one actually, because I was trying to think what else would you want to watch, or like what could work well as a foil. So I decided on a similar-ish, like not a theme, but more like a based loosely on a true story, but slightly more comedy. So I went for Catch Me If You Can. So just to watch after this, slowly ease you back out.
Wow, recommending.
I know.
Hanks. Who
Oh,
would have thought
not
it?
me.
We've come
Yeah.
a long way.
Not me. Yeah.
Carla, Kev doesn't really like Tom Hanks. Just to fill you in.
I think it's literally come up on every episode that I am on. At this point, I'm getting to understand.
Yeah. It's just mid Hanks, just to be clear.
And you listen to all of the other episodes.
Of course. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I went for American Fiction actually,
okay.
which came up
Yeah.
just before we were doing this. But I think that's a sort of an updating
Yeah,
of the
okay.
story. That,
Yeah, that's a good
Interesting.
one.
sort of shows shows where we've had progress and
Yeah.
where we haven't. Maybe.
Nice.
Algo was super interesting actually.
Okay.
This time, I would be interested in what you had.
Yeah, so I went for, I mean, obviously, you've got to have a blackboard in it. So, Beautiful Minds had to come in straight away. And that's obviously about maths.
Right, you've got
Yeah,
the maths angle. I mean,
You
Should
should have
have
expected
expected
it. The Imitation Game. So, that's similar,
interesting.
like you're trying to
Algo
do
had
something
that.
for the first time, and it was obviously time sensitive. And then The Theory of Everything, which is more, an individual characters and, obviously the hardships and the challenges that someone has, similar to obviously the 3 women in this.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. You went to pure maths. Yeah, so the Algo, it had Imitation Game, had Selma for sort of similar rights. Then went Pursuit of Happiness,
Interesting.
and then Rocket Man.
Oh, wow.
And On the Basis of Sex.
Rocket Man
which
feels
I think is sort of an
a
interesting,
bit
like,
far.
overcoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just sort of like almost it centered in on kind of the overcoming obstacles to live the life you want.
Interesting.
But I thought that was
Could you
that's
see?
interesting to have
Could you
Rocket
see
Man
yourself recommending Hidden Figures and then saying, "Oh, and by the way, after you watch that, do you go and watch Rocket Man"? Do you think that would be a nice segue?
it's very similar. But yeah, but you know, I think the Algo, but it has like got more different types of films. I think you've centered in on the maths as you know you
I
were
think
bound to.
Technically,
you're
I know
the
that
maths
you're not involved in science. You don't understand these things. But Stephen Hawking was actually a physicist, not a mathematician. I didn't want to.
Andy.
I mean, come on.
Okay.
I don't want to get more
I've-
comments about you
I've not
on
seen
the
it,
podcast.
All those mathematicians will be writing in. Actually, I have a contract from IBM. Back then, they would have been given 3 support engineers.
Exactly.
And it would have been fine. No, I'm giving
Ridiculous.
that to the Algo because I just think it's interesting that
it came up with movies that aren't related
so
to it.
48-37. What's that as a ratio?
Wrong is what it is, Andy. Wrong. Oh, damn.
Cool. Okay. Well, where we'll start with you, Kev. Where is it? Where is it on?
Yeah,
on your
so
list?
I had it in the very good section, as you don't imagine. So I had it at 16, so just below Malcolm X.
Okay.
So I think, both very interesting films, both, similar-ish themes in them as well. But I've never seen Malcolm X before either, and that was I really found that really interesting, and there was a lot more in it that I didn't know about as well. So it was, very fascinating. So number 16. And then just behind that, Ferris Bueller, just to lighten the mood a little bit more. So,
very similar. Surprised the Algo didn't have them. Yeah, nice little run of films not seen in that section of the of your very good. Cool. So Carla, actually, you've been down to the shop for a few movies. Talk us through your list. Maybe starting at the bottom. And
So
go
I've
through.
watched 12 films with you guys.
wow.
And Empire Records is coming right in at the bottom. I didn't think that would be the case, but it was. Then we move up to Wonder Boys at 11, which,
Nice.
I mean, the bottom of this section, I was still a little, there was a few I felt bad almost. I was feeling guilty. Then at 10, I have Escape to Victory. The 9, Spy Game. It's going about like on what I would watch again immediately.
Yeah.
Then I have 8, Color of Money. That was also one of the earlier ones that I watched, and I wouldn't mind watching that again soon. Then I had Born Identity at 7, Moneyball at 6, Ikaru at 5.
Oh, Moneyball. You'd said was your favorite
I
for quite a
know,
while.
and then I guess I
so-
was like writing this list, really just reflecting on like how I felt in the moment right now. So,
More maths in that
so-
as well.
Nice,
Just saying.
Nice.
So I had Moneyball, Ikaru at 5, then Layer Cake coming in at 4.
Nice.
Then I have Interstellar at 3,
Ooh.
and then the latest movie, Hidden Figures at 2.
Oh,
And
no.
my personal favorite, Chef,
Ridiculous.
is in at 1.
You guys need to be spending more time working on your maths, because this
Kev
is
will be
absurd.
delighted to know that Chef has even inspired my holiday. I'm going to go to Miami. So
Oh, my God. You should, you know what you should do? You should get yourself a food truck
When
and see how it goes.
yeah, I'll bring a kid with me to do
Yeah.
on social media. And
You might find on all of the places on the chef food tour in Miami, there is a 1-star review from someone called Kev. And I think that's.
There's more than one. There's plenty.
so yeah,
dear.
that's my
Oh, there you
review.
go.
Oh wow,
That's a good little mix of films.
chef.
Yeah.
It's a very eclectic
Michael
list of films. I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so I think looking at where they are on my list, Empire Records I have a lot higher, which
Yeah.
is that's because of my relationship to it and when I watched it as kind of a late teen. So I think that's understandable.
Are you
But
marking
apart
Carla's
from that,
work? Is this what we're doing?
No, I'm
Okay,
just
so
saying
just
they're kind of
B plus,
they're
could be
almost
better.
in,
Reorder
in
again.
agreement. I disagree. No, I mean, Interstellar I have higher than Chef at the moment. But I think
Wise
that's,
and
Interstellar's more
accurate.
movie,
Yeah.
a movie person's movie. So I think that's I think
You
that's
understand this
understandable.
isn't your inner monologue, right? You're actually saying these words.
You just sound like a movie
The-
person.
what, the-
How dare he?
Oh, I mean, honestly,
You're just into
we
your,
get to the last three
your
movies,
Cuban food
and the cheek
your-
that comes out, it's just unbelievable. Yeah.
When you say this isn't my inner monologue, do you mean the entire season?
Yeah.
Do you mean all
Yeah.
97 episodes?
This isn't your dream.
It's not.
This is
It's not
reality.
my monologue.
We're all living this, Andy. Your doctor has asked us to just bear with you and to go through the whole podcast. It's going to be beneficial for you.
And Fight Club comes back
Yeah.
into it. It always ends
ends
with,
in Fight
"Are
Club."
we in Fight Club?"
Yeah. So does Carla have to
Wow.
sell in
Okay.
Hidden Figures as your top movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your argument for
Might should be your top one.
it being number
So
one?
multiple reasons. I think just one, it's just such an important film. I think it addresses so much in such a short space of time. It's like very inspirational, not just for what women were going through back then or still going through in the workplace, but also the Black woman story is like still prevalent to this day. I think this film was also great in giving like a true depiction of like Black women rather than what so many films portray as negative stereotypes. So I think just also for that, and also I think now, considering like what the current administration is trying to do to like erase Black history, it's so important that we have films like this that really do tell true stories and get messages out when everything that's happening is to. And then also just it's inspirational for your daughter as well. So I think this is
Look at that. Get that in. Nice.
how can you not?
Yeah. I mean, I think
We will judge you.
If you love your
Yeah,
daughter,
you will love this.
how can this not
I mean, I
be
think
number
Carlos just said, if you don't put this top, you're Elon Musk. I think if I read between the lines there, just to make sure. Yeah, okay, good. Sold that in hard.
Wow.
That was good.
That's you've sold that in much harder than the other people have so far. So it's
Was I
good
just
pitch.
supposed to say
It's a-
one
it's a good job.
sentence?
No. Sell it in.
no, that was great.
Oh,
You know,
gives them
okay,
something to
yeah,
think
got
about.
Make
Words
sure that it's all there.
important. So I think that's the word. Words important.
Yeah.
Important, inspirational.
Yeah.
I mean, I love this
Groundbreaking,
movie.
some people have said.
Yeah.
You know.
Some mathematicians have called
Yeah. 4.5 stars.
I would say I did try and find out why the director hasn't gone on to do stuff, and couldn't find anything. So he was being interviewed to do Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Or Spider-Man, as I like to say, just to annoy people. At the time, he was apparently like he had multiple meetings, and then he got this script, and he was like, "No, I want to do this instead."
Wow.
And so then did this,
Then
and then
stopped.
I've tried to find anything online about it, and a lot of the interviews are with him are just after this film where he talks about how passionate he is about it and how great it is, but there's nothing that sort of says he just seems to have rejected going for the big box office and done smaller
I mean,
smaller
maybe
films.
after you've
So,
done this, you just think it was such a impressive story to get across, and obviously did such a good job that I don't know. Maybe you just think it's not going to get any better than that.
yeah
Maybe he was inspired
Maybe he's
by
waiting.
Kevin Costner's work ethic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He's now chewing gum on a ranch. Yeah.
become an executive producer somewhere. Maybe he's just waiting to be as moved by a script and as a movie as he was by
Maybe
this
we'll
one.
see.
Which, if that's the case, then
Good luck.
fair play to him.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
awesome. Well, thanks. That clicks thing I think is brilliant because it's so annoying It's just so. That was the one thing I had that I didn't like was the wall clicking, which I just think is just so. And then like they explain stuff about space, which I feel is like a little bit like they're kind of like, look, we have to explain what we're doing to the audience, so we're just going to have 5 minutes of explaining it, and then we'll move on. I think that scene does annoy me, but I get why you need to
I love that we're ending on a negative note.
Yeah. Classic Andy. Yeah.
We've made it all the way through, and then you had to do the clip.
Yeah. We'll just edit that bit out, Carla, don't worry. Yeah.
Who knows what will be? I mean, it's an hour, so who knows what we'll leave it. Awesome. Well, great. Well, thanks for coming down. Thanks for coming down for all of these films.
My
It's
pleasure.
been a pleasure to have you down at the shop. You still do owe some late fees on a couple of the
Can I
DVDs
just
that you
work a
didn't bring
shift or
back.
something? And
Yeah, maybe.
I'll dust-
you can
dust
do.
the shelves.
Go and dust the maths section. Not many people.
dear.
Go in there. That and horror are the two least
definitely
least
horror.
used. No, thanks for coming down. Yeah, great film. Love this film. We'll see what episode 98 has for us in store next week.